With talks for a hostage deal and ceasefire between Israel and Hamas appearing to be what they say paused, as they would have described it, officials describing that to me, the Israeli public is growing increasingly frustrated with the government's failure to bring the hostages home. Thousands of protesters rallying in Tel Aviv over the weekend, demanding the release of the nearly 130 hostages still being held. And joining me now are Rachel Goldberg-Polin and Jon Polin. Their son, Hersh, was kidnapped from the Supernova Music Festival on October 7th. He was recently seen in a hostage video released by Hamas at the end of April, showing that he had lost his arm. Rachel, you and Jon have been incredibly dedicated and fearless and courageous. And you keep your spirits up. And you've met with Congress members here. You've met with the president Monday night. Is there any hope to get these talks restarted, re-engaged?
Well, as you know, we say every morning, hope is mandatory. So, yes, there is hope. There is always hope. There is optimism. I think what we're really feeling and seeing across the whole region, not just for the 128 hostages and their families, but for the hundreds of thousands of people in our region who are suffering horribly also in Gaza. We need an end to this, and there is a lot of hope to get there.
And there was certainly a feeling that after Defense Minister Gallant came out, and there was pressure, and Benny Gantz, so two different, parties getting involved from former military people, that there was more pressure on the Prime Minister, but then the ICC recommendation that seems to have really rallied Israelis, understandably, in support of Netanyahu as almost a life raft for him politically. Jon.
Yeah, I'd say things are certainly heating up politically inside of Israel. The ICC threat is something that, as you noted, has people charged. We'll see what happens in Israel. One of the things, Rachel talks about hope being mandatory, one of the things that has given me hope recently is it's taken time, but the world, I think, is starting to see this for what it is, the international component of what this is, which is, Rachel's talked many times, and I think she mentioned it on your show recently, that there are hostages from 25 countries. Jake Sullivan and the United States have been leading initiatives. They got 18 world leaders to sign on a statement a few weeks ago declaring it's time to release these hostages, our hostages, say leaders of 18 countries. He then had a follow-up meeting with that group last week. We were in Tel Aviv on Saturday night at the rally where 4 ambassadors spoke, the U.S., the U.K., Germany, and Austria, meaning we're galvanizing world leaders to stand together and finally say, enough is enough. We need to bring these hostages home, and we need to wrap up this terrible saga.
Rachel, you saw your son in a recent video, it seemed, because there were other indicators that it was recent. How was that? How did that feel? Mixed feelings, I'm sure.
It was definitely mixed feelings, but I'll tell you, to see that he is alive after half a year with no real word, no way to know except a mother praying and hoping that he was alive. And on the other hand, to see him in such a fragile, compromised medical state, and I'm sure emotional state. But when you're starving, which we have been starving for a sign of life, to be given a moldy crumb is delicious. And we were thrilled.
And how did he look to you?
I mean, I've never seen Hersh look like that. He looked obviously compromised, extremely pale, which makes sense. He hasn't seen the light of day for 7 months now. His arm, his dominant arm, is amputated. We've been told by medical experts who are proficient in reading video to understand a medical situation have explained that he would need at least 1, probably 2 more surgeries on that arm in order for it to take a prosthetic successfully. But again, he's alive, he was moving, he's speaking, and even if he was reading something that was scripted, I don't care, I'll take it.
No, I'm just, and your reactions as well?
Well, I'll tell you, one of the interesting things is Rachel and I have been hopeful and optimistic all along. We have believed Hersh is alive. He's persevering. And we've had people around us telling us that. But after the video came out, the number of people who said to us, we've been trying to support you, but we thought he bled out on October 7th. We did not believe he could still be alive. And we understand now that we've had this hope, we've had this faith, but a lot of people around us did not. And it galvanized them.
It certainly has to galvanize the officials as well. What more do you want from the president, from, you know, the CIA director who's leading these negotiations and others, Secretary of State? What can they do for you?
We really feel that their hearts are in the right place and their efforts are in the right place, and that they have the wisdom and the insight and creativity to make this happen. We just need to see it happen. And we need to keep remembering that of these 128 people, they're not a monolithic, homogenous group. As John mentioned, they're from 25 different countries, and including 8 Americans. There are the American 8, and a lot of people in America are not aware that there are 8 Americans being held for 229 days now.
Rachel and John, our hearts are with you, our hopes are with you, more importantly, and our admiration for everything you're doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Andrea, thank you for keeping the story alive.
We are
that is so
dedicated to
important.
this. Totally.